Welcome, scientist. I hope you're having a great day today, and let's begin with the lesson for today's activity. Today, we will be starting a new unit, as all of you know, and that unit will cover evolution and the processes and mechanisms that go into helping evolution and the process of evolution. Today's lesson will focus on an introduction to evolution, but more importantly, an introduction to natural selection. In the image below for your bell ringer, you can see a whale skeleton. But more importantly, there is a circled bone. That bone is a hip bone. Now you may be asking yourself, if whales do not have legs or have ever walked on land, why do they have these bones? Think about that question for a little bit, write down your thoughts, and be prepared to share in front of the class after answering your Google quiz. Because once everyone is done and shut their laptop, I will bring the class together to share out their answers. Today, the standards we will be assessing come from the Iowa Science Standards, and these standards are HS-LS4-1, which says communicate scientific information that common ancestry and biological evolution are supported by multiple lines of empirical evidence, and HS-LS4-2, which says construct an explanation based on evidence that the process of evolution primarily results from four factors. 1. The potential for a species to increase in number. 2. The heritable genetic variation of individuals in a species due to mutation and sexual reproduction. 3. Competition for limited resources. And 4. The proliferation of those organisms that are better able to survive and reproduce in the environment. At the end of this unit, you should be able to show proficiency in these standards by the Google quiz and summative assessments I give you at the end of these lessons. Your lesson objectives are shown below. Students will be able to define natural selection and how it affects the process of evolution. So what I'm asking here is, what is natural selection and how does it affect the process of evolution? After this activity, students will know who Charles Darwin is and his impact in the subject of biology. So today we're going to learn about who Charles Darwin is and how he impacted biology and how he continues to have an impact on biology. And 3, students will be able to show understanding of the standards being assessed by taking a Google Forms quiz over the content they learned. Today we are taking a Google Forms quiz, but please do not panic, as it is only 10 points, and I'm using it as a pre-test to learn what you guys have learned about the content. Here are some essential vocab you need to know. Please review and study this information at home, as it will repeatedly show up in the future. The first one is natural selection is a process that is used to help describe how a species population changes and evolves over time. This means, if you look at the picture down at the right, you can see a little animation of a beaver cutting down wood with his teeth and a beaver cutting down wood with a chainsaw. Which one do you think will cut down wood faster? The one with the chainsaw, right? That is a species changing over time by using tools to cut down trees. Convergent evolution is a process where two unrelated species evolve similar traits due to environmental variables. An example of this is scorpions and crabs evolving pinchers even though they do not have a common ancestor. Divergent evolution is a process where two species with a common ancestor evolve similar traits. When you look at a chimpanzee and a human, we both have opposable thumbs, which allow us for better climbing, and that is due to a common ancestor that we have. Fitness is the ability of an organism to survive and reproduce in its environment. That allows it to produce positive traits for the species that will go on to the next generation. And finally, phylogenetic tree is a visual representation of the evolutionary relationship between species. We will see more phylogenetic trees in the future. Now you may be asking yourself, how did natural selection come to be? And the natural selection came to be thanks to this man right here, Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was an Englishman who, after a 5-year trip to study plants and animals, came up with the theory of natural selection. This changed the course of biology. Charles Darwin was born on February 19th, 1809, and he was a biologist and naturalist. Due to his magnificent work that impacted biology, he earned the nickname of the father of evolution. What are some mechanisms of natural selection? Some mechanisms of natural selection are genetic variation, mutation, gene flow, and adaptation. Genetic variation introduces new traits into a species, while mutation changes DNA to increase the genetic diversity in a population. This could be positive or negative. Gene flow distributes genetic variation when two animals reproduce. And adaptation is like evolution, where an organism changes to increase its odds of survival, but in adaptation, the feature changes during the animal's life. When in evolution, it takes thousands or millions of years for that evolutionary change to occur. After learning what we learned today, we are going to watch a short clip of the Amoeba Sisters that helps explain what I talked about in further detail. After watching this video, please think about a real-life example of a trait that could have a positive fitness and how it affects that species that you are thinking of. Please be ready to share with the class. Once everyone fills out their Google quiz, I will bring everyone together and we will share with about 5 minutes left. Now it is time for the Google quiz. Please do not panic. Again, this quiz is only worth 10 points and it is used as a pretest for me to understand what you as a class are understanding about this topic. So please put all your notes away before we begin the quiz because I want to know what you know, not what your notes know. What should you do if you finish early? If you finish early, you could work on makeup work opportunities that could help improve your grade. Studying the material we learn in class is crucial for the future because, as I said earlier, it will repeatedly come up again throughout this unit, and it is important to know what I am talking about. And if you've already done those two, please read a science journal located at the back of the classroom, but most importantly, please do not distract those around you as they finish their Google quiz. And thank you for watching today's lecture. Good luck on the Google quiz, and I will be around if you have any questions. Thank you.